Welcome back. It's episode 19 of Build Something With Me. I'm Max Action, and I'm so glad that you're back because today we're doing something a little different. So if you see the background's different, we're trying to use a mic, trying to work on our lighting. Lighting's still a little weird in the background, but we're working on it. But that's the whole theme of today is what are you doing different to improve? What little step are you taking each day to improve what it is you're doing that pushes you closer toward your goal of that's at the end of our 90 days? So far, we've already been through 2 weeks. We're coming up on the end of the third week. So each week, have you been achieving your goals? Have you been achieving those weekly goals step by step every single day, getting just a little bit better each and every day that you try? If you haven't and you've fallen off a couple of days, totally understandable. Don't beat yourself up over it. Just get back on and keep going. Keep going throughout the rest of the 90 days. What happens with some people is they hit a snag and they're focused only on perfection. They're not focused on improvement. So what happens? They immediately say, this isn't going to work. I haven't made it as far as I want to. I'm just going to quit and we'll just pick this up later on. And that's the absolute worst thing to do. Number one, because you're looking for perfection, which is never going to happen. No matter how good whatever you do comes out, you're still going to have room that you can improve on. So it's never going to be perfect. Number two, if you keep that idea of perfection in your mind, then you're going to expect perfection every single time. You actually create a pattern that's going to lead you toward consistent failure because it's never going to be good enough. You're never going to put out what you want. If you're a content creator, never going to be putting that content out because it's never good enough. If you're a coach, always feeling that imposter syndrome because you never feel like you're good enough. And so it creates a pattern, and we don't want that pattern. So no matter what happens, if you fall off for a day, you fall off for 2 days, not a big deal. Get back on and keep going and keep working to make things just a little bit better than it was yesterday because we're improving our skills. We're improving what it is we want to do and becoming the people that we need to become in order to achieve the goals that we want. Some people judge their abilities based on what it is that they can accomplish in the first 1 to 3 attempts. But that's the problem. If it's your first couple of attempts, you're not going to be good at it because you don't know how to do it. We just have to accept that failure is a thing. It's going to happen because we don't know. We're going to get experience, but in order to do that, we have to fail first. So failure is not a bad thing. It's actually a really good thing because it means that we're learning. It means that we're doing something more than we've ever done before. And with each and every step, we learn something new. And as long as we're learning something new, we're heading in the right direction. The worst thing that can possibly happen to you is you constantly know exactly what's going to happen time and time again. Because that means you already know what you can do and what's going to happen. And that also means that you're not learning anything in the process. And the people that become the best are lifelong learners. Even when they think they know it all, they're still testing, they're still tweaking, they're still seeing what works and what doesn't. And if you're starting on a goal that you've never achieved before, this is the best time to learn because you are a blank slate. You can learn new things every single day and they start mounting up exponentially. Really exciting. Now, when I recently visited my niece and she has 2 babies. One is just learning how to crawl at the time of this video. And what's really interesting is when you see her flip over and kind of lay there for a minute, you don't see somebody start giving her criticism for not knowing how to walk, not knowing how to talk, because she's a baby, right? She doesn't know how to yet. This is the time where she's learning those skills. So you encourage her to crawl. You encourage her to babble and to start speaking. And you start talking to her like she's a human being that can understand you, because that's how she learns. So we don't go criticizing babies based on the fact that they don't know what it is that they're still learning. And we shouldn't criticize ourselves either for being in the exact same position. You don't see a baby start walking, fall over and go, well, I guess walking just isn't for me. I guess I'm just gonna have to crawl everywhere. No, they keep trying until they get it right. They keep taking additional action, additional steps forward, and they keep improving every single time, which is what we're going to do with anything that we don't know at this point in time and throughout trying to achieve mastery of it. Here are a few time frames that might give you a little bit of hope. So number one, your first 10 hours are going to be absolutely terrible. I mean, if you look at these videos, I'm probably around the 12-hour mark, 14-hour mark, and these videos, they're getting better, and I bet you can tell, because this is the 19th one. So this is probably extremely better, or at least marginally better, than the first one was. And I guarantee you, episode 50, we're going to check back in. So episode 50 is going to be completely different than this episode 19. So super excited about that. But your 10 hours, your first 10, are going to be absolutely terrible because you don't know what you're doing. Now, to achieve a good level of competence in something requires about 20 hours. So there's a study done, if you put in about 20 hours worth of focused effort, you can get pretty knowledgeable on some core concepts of anything that you want to learn. Now, at 100 hours, you are better than most people at doing whatever it is you want to do, because you put 100 hours in when most people quit far before 100 hours, usually maybe 1 to 2 hours in, and then give up and say, I can't do this. This isn't working. And so if it's not working, why am I going to continue to keep doing it? But the answer is, and you know just as I do, because we're learning. We're taking a step forward every single day and improving every single day. And as long as you're improving, you're on the right track. You need to keep going with it. Now, we've also heard the 10,000 hour mark is the spot for absolute mastery of something. This is where the people that are the best at what it is they do have achieved is 10,000 hours worth of practice. Now, don't let that overwhelm you right now. Focus right now on only getting to that first 20. Focus on something that we can do. This is 20 hours. If you've been practicing for a half hour a day and just getting a little bit better every single day, then you're going to hit that 20-hour mark on episode 40, which isn't that far away realistically. We're almost halfway there. We're almost to the 10-hour mark, really. So we'll get to that 20-hour point, and then we'll set our next goal of getting to 50, and then setting that next one of getting to 100. And then at that point, you're going to see an amazing difference from where you are right now to where you are then. It's really exciting, and it's something that you can look forward to. And then from that point forward, we are just honing our skills time and time and time again. And each hour you put in, you get better and better and better until you're to the point that it feels effortless. And now you're just working on the little details, just getting a little bit better every single day, and seeing everything just become more than you could ever imagine. And why is that? Is it because you were naturally talented and just knew everything right off the bat? Or is it because you put in the time and the effort and the work, and you stopped looking at things as they needed to happen within 3 days, and you started giving yourself more time to learn, to understand, and to really start developing those associations in your mind that make you an expert, that make you amazing at what you do. Now, I'll tell you right now, I am so excited to see the 101st episode of Build Something With Me, of this video documentation, because you're going to see an amazing difference on episode 101 than we were looking back on episode 19. But it's going to be really exciting. But I wanted to share that with you and encourage you every single day, be moving just a little bit closer to your goal. Be improving just one little thing every single day, and watch your ability, watch your confidence, and watch the results start growing and growing and growing until they start multiplying and growing really exponentially. You have the opportunity right now, and all you got to do is just keep going one step at a time. And I'm going to be taking this journey right here along with you. I'm excited to have you. So get out there, take that next step today, get a little bit better, try something new and see how it works out. But most of all, take action now. I'll see you tomorrow.